Sellers, don't let these two things hold you back. All right, you're thinking of moving this year, but you haven't, and I bet I know why. I bet there are two reasons that are keeping you from making the move that you actually want to make. Number one, interest rates. The rate of a new place is higher than your current place. Number two, there's not a lot of inventory. You're not seeing what you want on Zillow, and you're not sure if you could find something that would make the upgrade worth it. Am I right on that? Are those the two reasons? I bet they are for the majority of you. And let me give you something to think about on both of those that might allow you to move in to the next place sooner rather than later. First one, maybe you shouldn't be a seller. Maybe you should just be a buyer. What if you bought in this market, kept that super low interest rate that you have, and rented out your house, and that became part of your long-term investment strategy? Real estate became part of your long-term investment strategy with a house you know, with a super low interest rate that there's no chance you could go out into the open market and get and replicate if you wanted to add real estate to your investment portfolio. Now, yes, you do have to be able to buy the next house without having all of the equity out of your current house, but you have options there that you may not have realized, and we'd be happy to help you navigate what it could look like to keep your house and buy another house. The other thing, if that's not an option for you and you're like, hey, I want to just sell this house, is I think you have to think about it in terms of, yes, there is a cost difference on the interest rate, but what is the cost difference in life that's causing you to want to move? Is it, hey, I'm driving a long way to the office? Is it I want the kids to be in a different school? Is I want to be in a different community? Is it we don't have enough space? It's hard to put an actual value on those things, but I do think you have to ask yourself, relative to the cost difference in the new house versus our current house, how much life are we gaining out of it, and what is that worth? So say one of those two things do resonate with you, or that's not your challenge. You're just saying, hey, I don't see what I want out there. What I would say to you is all houses that are selling are not online. And if you have not reached out to us and have us do a specific search for your specific house, you're not seeing everything that's available. And the more specific you are, and I know this is true for a lot of y'all that are in a good house and you want to go to a great house, you have a very specific criteria. Your neighborhood specific, the type of house is specific, the size is specific, the yard is specific. That is actually easier to find off market than it is to find something really general. But if you know the neighborhood, the size, the yard, the school district, the more specific you can be, we have strategies that allow us to find things either before they come to market or off market that might be a fit for you, and that might solve your problem. So if either of those two things are holding you back, high interest rates, not seeing the house that you want, my advice would be reach out, have a conversation. Let's talk about your specific situation and see if some of the things I mentioned or some of the other things that are available might actually solve your problem so that you can move into that next house rather than waiting for either more inventory or interest rates to change. That may not happen in the very near future, but your life is going to keep going on, whether those things change or not. And we'd love to help you make that move, love to help you solve that problem. Reach out like so many of you do, and everybody else, we'll see you again next week.